during the COVID times and taking full advantage of these times to up your Krishna consciousness. Nice meeting with all of you. Hari Bol. Om Jnana-Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinamine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Today on the Gita Wisdom session, we are going to actually discuss an interesting topic. We are going to chapter 5, text 18. Chapter 5, text 18. If you've got it there with you, you may be able to locate it.
Maharaj's screen is not visible.
Oh, is it? 1 minute. Some challenges here.
Yes.
Now?
Yes, Maharaj.
Yeah. Chapter 5, text 18. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet. Om Ajnana-Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinamine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Chapter 5, text 18. I will read the shloka once, then I will read the shloka the second time. I'll chant the shloka first time and then second time. Third time, I will chant one line of it and you will follow. And then I chant one line of it, you will follow. And then finally, on the fifth time, we will all chant together. Okay? Vidyā-vinaya-sampanne brāhmaṇe gavi hastini śuni caiva śva-pāke ca paṇḍitāḥ sama-darśinaḥ. Vidyā-vinaya-sampanne brāhmaṇe gavi hastini śuni caiva śva-pāke ca paṇḍitāḥ sama-darśinaḥ. So, follow me after I read one line. Chant after me. Vidyā-vinaya-sampanne
vidyā-vinaya-sampanne
brāhmaṇe gavi hastini śuni caiva śva-pāke ca paṇḍitāḥ sama-darśinaḥ. Again. Vidyā-vinaya-sampanne brāhmaṇe gavi hastini śuni caiva śva-pāke ca panditaḥ sama-darśinaḥ.
sama-darśinaḥ.
All of us together. 1, 2, 3.
vidyā-vinaya-sampanne. brāhmaṇe gavi hastini. śuni caiva śva-pāke ca. pandita sama-darśinaḥ.
Once more. 1, 2, 3.
vidyā-vinaya-sampanne.
brāhmaṇe
brāhmaṇe gavi hastini.
śuni
caiva
caiva
śva-pāke ca. pandita sama-darśinaḥ.
Thank you very much. That was great. Wonderful. Translation. The humble sages, by virtue of true knowledge, see with equal vision a learned and gentle brāhmaṇa, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog-eater, outcast. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti-vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Purport: a Krishna conscious person does not make any distinction between species or castes. The brāhmaṇa and the outcast may be different from the social point of view, or a dog, a cow, and an elephant may be different from the point of view of species. But these differences of body are meaningless from the viewpoint of a learned transcendentalist.
As the
This is
voice,
due to their relationship to the Supreme.
Maharaj, the voice, this little volume control is slow.
I don't have any volume control here
Oh, okay, Maharaj.
on mine. I don't think there's any volume control.
Maharaj, it is perfect.
Full.
No problem.
Can the others hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yes, Maharaj.
Yes,
Loud
Maharaj.
enough? Loud enough?
It's too low, Maharaj.
Yes, enough.
Okay.
Clear.
Enough for us, Maharaj.
Okay, thank you. So, but these differences body are meaningless from the viewpoint of a learned transcendentalist. This is due to their relationship to the Supreme. For the Supreme Lord, by his plenary portion as Paramatma, is present in everyone's heart. Such an understanding of the Supreme is real knowledge. As far as the bodies are concerned in different castes or different species of life, the Lord is equally kind to everyone because he treats every living being as a friend, yet maintains himself as Paramatma, regardless of the circumstances of the living entities. The Lord as Paramatma is present both in the outcast and in the brāhmaṇa, although the body of a brāhmaṇa and that of an outcast are not the same. The bodies are material productions of different modes of material nature, but the soul and the super soul within the body are of the same spiritual quality. The similarity in the quality of the soul and the super soul, however, does not make them equal in quantity, for the individual soul is present only in that particular body, whereas the Paramatma is present in each and every body. A Krishna conscious person has full knowledge of this, and therefore he is truly learned and has equal vision. The similar characteristics of the soul and super soul are that they are both conscious, eternal, and blissful. But the difference is that the individual soul is conscious within the limited jurisdiction of the body, whereas the super soul is conscious of all bodies. The soul is present in all bodies without distinction. Om Tat Sat. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamani. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharini Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Beautiful shloka. Vidyā-vinaya-sampanne brāhmaṇe gavi hastini śuni caiva śva-pāke ca pandita sama-darśinaḥ. Pandita sama-darśinaḥ. That is the main point here. Pandita means learned man. Sama-darśina means he sees everybody equally. Equal vision, equality is a clamor that we hear everywhere today. Gender equality, rich and poor equality, right? Equality, the whole working class and the other class of people who are higher up. So everybody is trying to iron out and get equality, but just that they don't know that materially nobody can be equal. It's not possible. It's a useless endeavor to talk about equality on the material plane, because nature produces various differences in the material plane. Not one person is the same as the other. Different bodies, different looks, different features. Everybody is different. Even twins are different physically. So there is no point talking about equality on a material plane. But everybody knows somewhere inside that we are equal. Somewhere instinctively, they know, a gut feeling they have. Intuitively also they know that I am equal to this person. That is the hidden, latent, spiritual knowledge that you have about equality in terms of spirituality. Spiritually, we are all similar. Spirit, soul. Period. Other coverings on the outside, the different types of dresses that you may put on, they may all differ. They are all according to the modes of material nature. Karanam gunasangasya sat asat yoni janmashu. The reason is association with the modes of material nature, and you come out with different type of shapes and sizes from different wombs, yoni. Karanam gunasangasya sad asad yoni janmashu. Different types. This is a very amazing piece of knowledge. We all differ. Some are tall, some are short, some are women, some are men, some are, animals, some are insects, but they all are equal in terms of being spirit souls. And this is the meaning of a learned man. A learned man means he should be able to see equality in spite of the differences. He must be able to see unity in diversity. We are materially diverse. There is no doubt about it. And there is no point ironing it into one. It never happens. It will never happen. But if you are a little educated, then you can see we are actually equal. And we should meet with each other on that equal plane of spirituality. Not sit on the plane of material differences and speak about a pie in the sky called equality. It's never going to happen. So, the famous conversation of Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada with Professor Kotovsky in Russia on his first visit to Moscow, he was trying to explain to him that we are also communists. We are also working for equality. And that professor obviously was very interested in hearing, how do you say you're a communist? You're a Hindu monk. And he said, of course we are communists. We are spiritual communism we practice. And then he explained how spiritually we are all equal, but materially we can never be equal. And he said, your communism will be successful if you can accept the fact that as spirit souls we are all equal. If you can accept your identity as spirit soul, then I advise you, your communistic philosophy will become very famous and very much acceptable. And we are willing to work together with you to help you. So Prabhupada, as usual, was very strategic, and he was seeing the similarity, common ground between communism and the Bhagavad-gita's wisdom, and saying that, yes, that's what we should do. Just that there's a small change to be made. It cannot be achieved on the material plane. And it is useless to do that. So this is a reality. So a person who is actually wanting equality, he should educate himself. Education means one who sees matter in spirit. Pandit. Pandita sama-darśinaḥ. So what exactly is that Pandit seeing? He's seeing very clearly in the big body of the blue whale, the big body of the elephant, the big body of the, whatever, or the small body of the chandala, of the dog. In all these things, he's seeing that spiritual spark accompanied by the Paramatma. All that he's able to see because of his education. Because he's able to see, he sees all of them as equally. And his behavior to them is also equal. He gives everybody a chance to up themselves spiritually. You see, in the story, in many places we'll see that in Vedic history, you will see animals achieving liberation. In Bhagavatam is a wonderful story of Gajendra, the elephant. Then you have Garuda. Then you have many such instances, even in late lives, you will see that Gajendra Moksha is a very interesting chapter. This is a month of Purushottama Adhika Masa. And this is a period when we all have to try our best to remember Krishna and his devotees and his wonderful pastimes. So Gajendra was an amazing king of elephants. That's why it's called Gajendra. Gaja means elephant. So he, along with his many wives and children, he came once to take his bath in the lake. He was drunk, it is mentioned. And that place, Trikuta mountain, was a very beautiful scenic place. And there was all sorts of flowers and fruit trees and valleys and rivers and lakes and greenery and animals and everything. Very beautiful place. And it's mentioned that the water hit against the mountain, the Trikuta mountain, and there were emeralds and rare gems all around. It was a very rich and very wonderful place. And in that place, Gajendra was enjoying his life in the shape of an animal, an elephant. And he came drunk because he was the king of the elephants. Everybody was giving him respect. And if he came in, all the other animals scattered, who would raise his trunk and make his sound, and everybody would give way. So he came this day, came into the lake with all his family members, his wives and children and everybody. And then he drank the cool water using his trunk. And then he sprayed water on his kids, on his wives and everybody, and they were all so happy that they were drenched in the water. And generally he was having a good time with his family members. And then all of a sudden something so amazing and surprising happened. A crocodile, pretty big, huge crocodile, opened its mouth and caught hold of Gajendra's legs, right at the bottom. And Gajendra, in his drunken stupor also, just having drunk water, he just tried to shake off the crocodile. But it was not so easy. Somehow the crocodile stuck on. And so Gajendra tried again and again to hit the crocodile with his other legs, with his trunk. And then he looked at others and they tried to help him. And everybody tried and tried and tried and tried. But somehow the crocodile had a deadly grip on the elephant. And then the elephant started becoming a little desperate. And it went on fighting with the crocodile. Went on fighting with the crocodile, dragging him, they said, and the crocodile dragged him back into the water and dragged him into the land. It went on and on and on and on. After some time, all the kids and the females, everybody got on top of to the sides of the lake. And then they were very tired watching and watching and watching, and then they slowly disappeared. It's not going to not going to happen so easily. So Gajendra also over a period of time became very tired. It's mentioned it went on for years together. And there was a huge scene of many people coming and watching. All the animals coming and watching. Watching Gajendra struggle with the crocodile. Somehow the crocodile had some very good period and time, or got a good horoscope, if at all. It's just doing very good against this massive elephant. So what to do? Gajendra became more and more tired because he was an animal of the land. But the crocodile was an animal of the water, so like an amphibian. So it was actually pretty strong. In the water, it was strong. It's its own territory. So Gajendra became weakened and weakened and weakened, and finally he had no strength. And then he started thinking, why is this happening to me? I am so strong. I am Gajendra, the king of elephants. Why would this happen to me? So he thought about it and understood that this is something not within my control. It is daiva. It is an event managed by the Lord. Obviously, otherwise I would have shaken him off in no time and crushed him to death. But there is a plan behind this, because I am not able to overcome him. I am overcome by him, just a mere crocodile. So Gajendra, after some time, after becoming so tired and unable to fight with the crocodile anymore, he thought about the Lord. Amazingly, he remembered prayers from his previous life. And he chanted those prayers, addressing the Supreme Lord, the root cause of everything. Janmadhya sayataha, the root cause of everything. And these beautiful prayers are mentioned in the Bhagavatam. And he chanted these prayers very feelingly, desperately, asking for the Lord's assistance. The Lord in Vaikunta heard these prayers of his devotee Gajendra, and then he got on top of his Garuda and he came down instantly to that spot. Just while coming down with the Garuda itself, he raised his Sudarshan Chakra and cut off the head of the crocodile. The crocodile's head cut off, and Gajendra was relieved from that misery. And that crocodile turned into a beautiful Gandharva. And Gajendra turned into a king. In his previous life, Gajendra was King Indradyumna, a very wonderful, pious king who was worshipping the Lord regularly and who was subjected to a curse. Similarly, this Gandharva also was subjected to a curse because he fooled around with some rishis and sages underwater when they were taking bath, and they cursed him, go become a crocodile because you're so interested in doing this underwater. And Indradyumna was a king who did not properly attend to Agastya Muni, who came to see him because he was busy worshipping, and Agastya Muni got angry and cursed him. You are as dull as an elephant, you should get the body of an elephant. And when he pleaded and said, my dear Rishi, Brāhmaṇa, please save me. I was after all worshipping the Lord. Somehow this thing happened. Then he said, don't worry, you will personally be liberated by the Lord himself. In this way, although in the body of an animal, these two personalities, they met together. And in the body of an animal also, this spirit soul, Gajendra, King Indradyumna, was able to contact the Lord and get his mercy. right? Of course, you can say that it is because of some previous life situation. But animals are known to, even in Lord Chaitanya's period, there was an animal, there was a dog, and that dog followed the party of Shivananda Sena, who went all the way from Navadvip, West Bengal, on the bank of the Ganges, and took a party of people to go and visit Jagannath Puri for the Rath Yatra festival. And there, in his party, he found he had a dog. And the dog was very much following the party, keeping away from other dogs, and listening to the discourse, taking the prasadam given to him, and coming to all the holy places. So Shivananda Sena, who was the leader of the party, took special notice of this dog. And he said that this dog is a devotee. This Atma in this body of a dog is a devotee. And he fed the dog. Sometimes if the dog was not available, not to be seen, he asked his men to go and find out where is the dog. Because he treated the dog as a devotee. That dog has got a taste for prasadam, taste for hearing Krishna Katha. He likes to be in the kirtan. He's a special dog. This Atma inside this body is very special. So once upon a time, they were supposed to cross the Ganges in their trip. And the boatman said, I take only human beings, I don't take animals, I don't take this dog. So the dog was looking very sad and looking at Shivananda Sena and the rest of the party. So looking at the face of the dog, Shivananda Sena felt, I won't leave you, don't worry. And he told the boatman, I'll pay you double the charges for the dog. Let the dog sit there. I won't do anything, I'll take responsibility. So seeing that he's going to get more money, the boatman said, okay. And the dog jumped inside immediately, as soon as he said okay, and sat down in a corner. They crossed the Ganges. As soon as they crossed the Ganges, the dog went ahead very fast and landed up in Jagannath Puri, and much ahead all the others. It was a dog, could run. So it went fast and went and met Lord Chaitanya already. And Lord Chaitanya, when the party came to see, finally reached, and they were wondering, where is the dog? But Shivananda Sena knew somehow by intuition that this dog has already gone ahead to see Lord Chaitanya. So in Puri, when he came, he saw that the Lord was drinking tender coconut, and the tender coconut was split and the pulp inside was taken out, and he was feeding the dog by throwing to the dog, and the dog was jumping up and catching it and eating it. It was directly being fed from the hand of Lord Chaitanya. And the next 2-3 days, the dog disappeared. It passed away. And Shivananda Sena was very pleased. He knew that Lord Chaitanya has specially shown his mercy on this dog, who is a devotee, and sent the dog back to Vaikuntha, back to Godhead. This is a story that happened a few hundred years back. It's very fresh in the memory of many. So, any person who knows that we are spirit soul and our external dress of a body does not matter and treats you like that, he is really a pandit. He is really a person who has understood. That is what is being said here. So Prabhupada is going further in the purport to also say that the super soul in the heart of everybody, including the ant, the gnat, all of them are accompanied by the Supreme Lord as Paramatma, the super soul. And the super soul accompanies the soul because on his own he can do nothing. And because you cannot see often this combination, he is directed, he is helped, he is guided by the super soul in the heart. So don't think that you're alone. Don't look at a dog. Next time you look at a dog, you should know that inside this body of the dog is a spirit soul. And accompanying the spirit soul is the Supreme Lord as Paramatma. When the dog barks at you, rah, rah, you should also know that that particular soul has spoiled its consciousness and come to the level of a dog consciousness. and his dog mentality he has got. So when he sees you, he is barking. But he's a spirit soul like you. Just that you have a better material body, higher consciousness, more evolved spiritually. That's the only difference between a human being and a dog. A human being is always superior to all the species of life. He is best poised to understand this information, pursue it, and achieve success in life. So, actually, every living being, including plants, they are all spirit souls. They are all spirit souls. And we should treat them like that. Then you're doing that sensitively. And that life is a life of a very intelligent man, is a life of a very learned person. When you see life like that, when you see the hand of God in everything, you can see this supreme soul accompanying that spirit soul, satisfying his doggish mentality and his desires to eat all sorts of things and to bark, to keep a territory for himself, to look after his kids. In all these things, he is being assisted by the super soul in the heart. But he's in a different body, in a different situation because of his karma, because of his association with the modes of material nature. He has degraded himself to very low consciousness. But that is his desire. That's what he wants. And Krishna, his super soul, is making his facility proper. In this way, God, Krishna, as super soul, is accompanying every soul and giving individual personal association, care, and facilitation. Right? A person who can see this, the operation of the super soul, Paramatma, the operation of the soul and the body, which is matter, all this combination together and knows what is happening, that person is a pandit. Kshetra kshetra jnayor jnanam yattat jnanam matam mama. So think of it. The next time you see a dog, if you look into his eyes, you will see the dog will very nicely look at you and try to communicate something to you. You can see the spirit soul trying to communicate from the face of a dog. It will even show affection to you. It will start licking your feet, start going around you. He is expressing himself. It's the soul that is expressing through the dog's body. There is communication going on. Human beings and animals can live very closely together. They can live in a very friendly way. Vedic Shastra tells us that they are all our brothers and sisters, and we must be very kind to them and facilitate them, not cut them up and eat them up. That's not what it's meant for. They are like you and me. Their body is very precious to them. They can make progress gradually through their body. It's not that you should take them out of their body and eat up their body. For a human being, there are many things to eat, prescribed. That's why a learned person will never do that. He will never be the reason for suffering to another living entity, because he knows this is another soul like me. Whatever I give him in pain will come back to me in my next lives, and I will also have to suffer that same pain. He knows that. That is the meaning of an educated person. Pandita sama-darśinaḥ. He sees everybody equally. Equal vision doesn't mean that you can change the material aspect. Today, there is a lot about gender equality. Man and woman becoming equal. And sometimes some people carry it to such a level of becoming physically equal. They want to do everything that a man does and say that that's because I'm equal to you. Or the employee is striking against the employer. He said, you are making so much of profit. I am laboring for you. My labor is not factored into your profit as something significant, right? You eat all my profit also, and you give me a very measly sum. And the argument he's saying is that I am doing all the investment. I am taking all the risk. You're not taking any risk. You're just coming and doing the same thing in small portion of the whole arrangement, a little bit every day mechanically. You don't do anything intelligently, too much input. I invest the money. I use my intelligence, and I have to work very hard. I take all the risk. How much risk are you taking? How much investment did you make? Right? So I don't think it's wrong in giving you. So there's no. My labor is what is bringing you the profit. So there is fight, and there is fight for equality. Communism means labor class against the mercantile class. You are enjoying more than me. I am also part of it. Give me my share. Maybe according to the modern economy, he is right. He needs some share, right? So equality again. I am as much important as you. Whatever you're contributing, I am also contributing. So the talk about equality is very common nowadays. Everybody wants to be as good as you. But the problem is, it's material. There is karma also operating. Some people, without asking for it, they get money. It's their karma. They're born into a rich family. Father made a lot of money. I didn't do any work. I got all the money. I don't remember working at all. I just remember spending money. I had enough money. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Some of them have never seen any poverty, everything in excess, and they die like that. We say they're born with a silver spoon in their mouth. Means as soon as they were born itself, they had all the facilities. And they die like that only without learning anything in life. Gautama Buddha's history, Siddhartha, he was like that from a very rich place, born with a silver spoon in his mouth. But one fine day, he happened to go out to the palace and see misery and poverty and suffering and illness, sickness, and he was amazed. That's when he knew what really life is about. And then he became the great Buddha. He was exposed to things happening in this world. So karma plays a very important role. And you are in a particular situation not because of the government, not because of the capitalists, not because of this or that. It's just karma. And you should not unnecessarily fight it. But in spiritually educated society, people don't make this difference very big. In Vedic society, everybody was living very harmoniously. Even the person who had very low karma and the person who had very good karma, both respected each other. Because one had great learning, one had great wealth. Sudama, he had no money, poverty stricken. He had a lot of kids. And his wife was a very, very humble, nice devotee. But everybody knew Sudama to be a very great personality, spiritually, because he attracted the attention of Krishna. When he went to Krishna's palace in Dwaraka, Rukmini's palace, Krishna got up from his seat and ran to the gate of his palace, shouting, raising his two hands, Sudama, and went and embraced that beggar-like person with a torn dhoti and a torn chadar, with this bones jutting out of his ribs, his chest, and eyes gone inside. He has come to see Krishna. Real beggar he looked like. And he embraced him and cried on his shoulder, shedding tears. Krishna didn't say, you're a poverty-stricken man, you're a beggar, nothing. Krishna could see there's a great devotee, very exalted devotee. He never saw anything externally. And neither did Sudama ask for anything external from Krishna. He didn't say, give me wealth. He didn't say, I'm suffering. He didn't say, my wife all sent me for the event. Didn't even say that. Simply, he kept quiet. I'm very happy to be with you, Krishna. You are the Supreme Lord. Please show me your mercy that I may progress spiritually. And he was so happy in the association of the Lord. He came back only to see that his house has become a palace. His wife has become like a big queen with 50 assistants. Everything Krishna gave. But externally, he was a beggar. But everybody knew in society that Sudama is a very great personality. He had immense value. Similarly, in the Bhagavatam, you'll read that Bahulashva, King Bahulashva, and the poor Brahmana Shrutadeva, both will invite Krishna, please come to my house. And Krishna will simultaneously go to both people's places. Because both of them invited, simultaneously he will go. And great rishis and sages and everybody will accompany Krishna to the palace of Bahulashva. Bahulashva will give a fantastic welcome, very opulent welcome, like a king will give, because he's a devotee also. In Shrutadeva's place, he was in a small hut and he arranged a small mat and he brought some water and fruits. And he welcomed the Lord by taking out his chadar and standing in front of his hut and rotating it above his head and jumping and dancing. He did welcome single-handedly for the Lord. And the Lord came inside his hut and he was immensely pleased at the welcome of Shrutadeva. Just like he was immensely pleased with Bahulashwa's welcome also. As a king, very opulent. Krishna makes no difference in terms of your material situation. For him, your devotion is very important. Bhavagrahi Janardana. Bhavagrahi, he is one who takes your bhava, your devotional sentiment. He is not bothered about the externals. Because that is material. That is temporary. That will go when you die and it will change. But you are eternal spirit soul. And when you develop your bhakti for Krishna, you get the greatest value from Krishna. Right? So a true Pandit knows this, what is important. And in Vedic society in India, you'll see there were all sorts of people living together peacefully. The poor, the rich, the mercantile people, because everybody valued each other like pandita sama-darśinaḥ. There was not so much quarrel and differences. They did not pay any importance and value to these material differences. They paid value to the fact that this person is a spirit soul. He is capable of understanding something higher. He is a human form of life. And he must be very advanced. And he's capable. He's got an opportunity to learn this. Right? In this way, we should know how to get the eyes to see equally. Shastra Chakshu. Chakshu means eyes. Shastra Chakshu means seeing through the eyes of the Bhagavad-gita. Shastra, scripture, Bhagavad-gita. If you see through the eyes of the Bhagavad-gita, then you will see everybody is spirit soul. Then you will see the super soul Krishna accompanying every soul. Then you will see the material situation of that person really does not matter. But how he responds to that material situation, that matters. That matters. So people who are learned and educated, when they are put into a material situation like this, they will respond in a very spiritual way. They'll not get carried away by these material differences. Right? So that is what is the meaning of a Pandit. That's what is the meaning of a Pandit. Equality does not mean I and God are equal. Equal, just like the communists are having a big fight always with the capitalists. Everybody who is in power is envied. Everybody who has got some power is attacked by people. You got something greater materially than me, so I attack you. right? So those who are capitalists, those who have got some good karma, those who have got some money, those who have got some assets, they get attacked. Not only that, they also become a little proud. And in this way, they lose their real understanding. So from both sides, keeping a focus on this knowledge, applying it properly, and seeing the equality of all spirit souls in terms of their relationship with Krishna, that shows that you're an educated, learned, and cultured man. A cultured person will not treat people in ordinary materialistic way. He will treat people with great respect. He will treat people knowing fully well, you are a part and parcel of Krishna. Mamaivamsa jivaloke jivabhuta sanatana. Because you're a part and parcel of Krishna, I should be very careful in how I relate with you, deal with you. This is the meaning of culture and education. Not that you do Inkulab, Zindabad, I am equal to you, and then you vociferously say things, then you set fire, then you terrorize people, and you expect some equality to come through. Whatever you may do, whatever people may say, whatever the government may pass as a law, still there will always be inequality materially in this world. It's a given. You cannot change it. That's the nature of this world. And we should never fight over these material differences. Rather, we should live off our spiritual unity. That we are all connected with Krishna. That we are all same spiritually. It does not matter I'm in a woman's body, I'm a man's body, I'm in a rich man's body, I'm in a poor man's body. My skin is black, I'm African. I'm American and I have very good looking features. I'm European and I look like, almost like an Aryan. All sorts of theories they make. All these things don't matter. What matters is whether you're able to respond to that soul as a spirit soul. Then you're an educated and cultured person. So this is the first education. I am not this body. That person is not this body. This cow is not the body. The sheep, that goat is not its body. Similarly, all of them are spirit souls accompanied by super soul, Paramatma, right? Then you are a person who has understood Bhagavad-gita properly. Don't say that I am equal to God and I will become God. That means you have not understood Bhagavad-gita. You don't have the Gita wisdom instilled in you. Don't say that animals are different from me and they're different from you definitely materially. Therefore, I can cut them up and eat them up and they're less powerful than me. I can torture them. I am superior to them, right? This is wrong understanding. You are actually equal to that spirit soul in that body. Just that is highly disadvantaged in that body and you have got an advantage. So therefore, you should actually make a facility for that soul to also get to know spiritual life. Then you're really doing some very, very important service to that soul. Bringing this understanding to everybody, be he an animal or a human being, at least to human beings, is the greatest service you can do to humanity. Because you will wake them up from a powerful illusion of seeing people as per their body, making differences and creating a huge problem in society. But if they are educated, they will cool down, sober down, and they will be proper pandita, sama-darśinaḥ, and there will be a completely new wave and a new world. This is the type of civilization that Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada wanted to usher in. And he said, it is possible if we follow these tenets of the Bhagavad Gita and teach people, train them, and if their spiritual consciousness increases, they will be able to make these powerful changes in life. And human society can be very unified, keeping Krishna in the center of their life, relating to Krishna as spirit souls, and forgetting these material differences or making them very insignificant, right? So the saying is, what keeps us united is far, far more strong a bond than what keeps us differentiated. The differences are very, very, very insignificant as compared to our unity as spirit souls. It is just that we are not taking advantage of it. The moment we situate ourselves on the spiritual platform and see everybody as spirit souls, life will become wonderful. Human society will become great. And they will be very advanced, educated, cultured personalities. These are the type of people that the Mughals saw when they came to India. And before that, people saw a very advanced society of highly learned people. And people from all over the world were coming to India to learn this wisdom of the Bhagavad-gita, how we are equal. And they were taking it to all portions of the world. Unfortunately, over a period of time, due to Kali Yuga and due to other influences, this learning has gone down. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Sakala neha mahata yogo nashta parantapa. Over a period of time, this has got lost. I'm speaking this again to you. And over a period of time, that also became faded out. And Lord Chaitanya, Krishna appeared as Lord Chaitanya and again revived it. Then again it dipped a little bit, and Bhakti-vedanta Swami Prabhupada came again, caught it up and took it all over the world and spread it to everybody and made Bhagavad Gita very popular. So we are riding on the top of the wave now, and this is a great opportunity for us to spread it to others and take it up ourselves. So please continue to read Bhagavad Gita, discuss it, think about it, deliberate on it, give it to others. If you want to give a gift to anybody on any occasion, present him a Bhagavad Gita of Bhakti-vedanta Swami Prabhupada's commentary, Bhagavad Gita as it is. And you will be giving the greatest knowledge. You'll be giving the greatest gift. You'll be giving the greatest wealth of immense value. Right? So consider this very deeply. Thank you very much for your audience and your time. Om Tat Sat, Hare Krishna. The time is 8 o'clock. So, anybody has any comments, anybody has any questions, we'll be very happy. Anjana, Hare Krishna Maharaj, where is past life memory stored? Can we awaken it through hypnotism? Yes. Well, I cannot exactly say because I don't belong to that department which handles the memory storage of everybody. That is Chitragupta and Yamaraj and other people are handling it. They have every activity of yours, database of everybody. And I'm sure if Google knows about this, they will try to get that. So I'm not making this very public. So I want to tell only you. It's an immense database available. It's also stored inside you also. And it's also available in the cloud of Yamaraj. It's available in the stock of other great personalities. It is stored in many places, and there's a perfect system in that. Inside you also it is stored. You carry the memory of your past lives in your subtle body, and they're all stored and kept. I understand it that they are all in different folders, and the folder of Anjana alone is open now in this particular lifetime. And you've got the password, you can open it, and you have been structured mentally, physically like that, and your name is Anjana, and you have a certain consciousness, and you have a certain type of behavior, a certain type of action, and a certain type of karma. All that alone is open to you. But it's true, there is hypnotic regression that I've heard of. I've seen some strange videos also, that people do hypnotic regression can go back to their past lives. I don't know whether those videos are there here and there, but you can see videos of that person actually going back into a life of a child, talking like a child. Then the man actually gets into the body of a woman and talks like a woman. His voice completely changes. And I heard that these are little dangerous experiments also, I heard. But that is some type of a proof for what you're talking about in modern science and in medicine, etc. So true, your memory is stored inside you in your subtle body. And there's a lot other information about you for eons and eons and what you've been doing in many different travels. All that is also available. And you cannot access it so easily. But you'll have to do these type of strange things in order to break God's laws and access them. But I think it's a little dangerous. Okay? Pramila Krishnan, very relevant. If everyone can see all our spirit souls accompanied by the Paramatma, then we will not have cruelty towards all living beings. Thank you, Maharaj. Maharaj, after a person dies, how long does it take for the soul to enter another body? It's a very common question everybody asks. And you can get a lot of information from Garuda Purana. All these things are written there in great depth. But normally it depends on the type of activity that is in store for him, his karma, and what type of work has to be done on him in Yamaloka. According to that, he is treated there. His consciousness has to be lowered and put into a lower body because he has done 2 sinful activities. Or if he's a very pious person, then immediately he's going to the heavenly planets or some other planets. That happens faster. He doesn't have to go through the treatment of Yamaraj and Yamaloka. Like that, different people, I heard that it happens differently. But you can get more information on this if you want from Garuda Purana. I think you can Google Garuda Purana and you can get it. And some sections of it, there's a lot of detail about, how the soul doesn't leave the body. That's why it's cremated. If you cremate the body, it can no more get into the body. It's very attached to the body. That's why in Vedic system of this thing, we do cremation. And then once it knows that the body is cremated, can no more, it hangs around in the same place for so many days, 12 days or something. Then after the last rites are done at a particular time, it actually is forced to go. There's a whole lot of detail given there for different people, different things, situations. So it's not one thing. So you may, if you want, get more information from that. I immediately can't remember all that information. I hope that helps you. Arvind Kumar, plants also spirit souls, but we are eating plant-based foods cooked in office without offering to the Lord to overcome it. Well, Krishna is explaining that if you don't offer it to Krishna, anything including vegetarian food also is sin. Yajñasishta sinasanto muchyante sarvakil vishay bhunjate te tvamagam papam ye pachanti atmakaranat. Atmakaranat means only for your sake you cook and you eat. So even plants and other things that you take, you'll have a certain level of karma. That is sin. So this does not mean that you can ask a counter question saying, so therefore chicken and mutton I can offer to the Lord and eat. No, for human beings that is not recommended. There is a particular food for each. Jivo jivasya jivanam. Ahastani sahaspadam, like that it says. For there's a type of a general rule. Ahastani means those who don't have hands. Hasta means hand, right? So there are some animals who don't have hands and legs, and some have only legs. Like trees are considered to be having only legs. They eat through their feet. They drink water through the roots. They're ekapadam, one leg type of classification. Then there are 4-legged animals, elephants and horses and dogs and everything. For them, there is certain type of food. Then for each one type of food. So those who don't have hands and this thing are food for those who have this. Like that, there is a whole classification given. And for human beings, it is mentioned fruits, grains, vegetables, which should be taken and it should be offered to the Lord and eaten. That's the food for them. So for each, what type of food is mentioned? Jivo jivasya jivanam. Which type of jiva will you feed on? Because every jiva feeds on some jiva. So we feed on the plants and eat out of their products, roots, vegetables, fruits, flowers, all that. And that is considered to be civilized, not much devastating to you. So, but one thing is, even though you get that, you must recognize the Lord, you must offer it to the Lord and eat only prasadam. Okay? Right. Ashwath. If both plants and animals are souls, then why make a difference in eating them? Even eating vegetables is like killing plants. Very good argument. But I am not the one making it, or not, you are not the one making these classifications. There is a religious code, how a human being should live, what he should feed on, so that the progressive civilization that he is aimed at, that will happen. He is not an animal. You cannot be born in a human body and then so animals are also souls and also anybody can eat anybody like that. You can't make your own rule. All these are options, I understand, but they're not open to you as a human being. The stipulation, the commandment, the religious code for you is to do this. And that's how we should live. Otherwise, you're sinful. And then you get implicated in karma. So all those things happen. It's not only enough if you argue out something. You may win an argument, actually, but it may not be a fact. And it may not be the religious code. Right? So we are following authority of the scripture of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is telling us in Bhagavad-gita, Patram phalam toyam pushpam yome bhaktya prayachati. You offer me these. He didn't say chicken, mutton, yome bhaktya prayachati. He didn't say that. Neither he say that if you put tulsi on top of the chicken and offer me, I will accept it. Everything will be purified. No, he didn't say that. He said you as a human being should not be sinful. You should be kind to all other more advanced entities. The very, very low consciousness plants and plants you can eat. That also by offering to me and purifying whatever little karma is there involved and sanctifying it and accepting as prasadam. That's the direction. So we should follow that. Okay, right. Arati, if you're being disturbed either by humans or animals, should we accept whatever happens is by past deeds, or what should we do in that situation? Well, don't become a fatalist. Don't think everything that is happening to you is a fate of yours. Some things you have to act. Just like I told you the story of Gajendra. Gajendra did not, as soon as the crocodile caught hold of his leg, he didn't say, this is my fate, my lord, and he stopped fighting or anything. No, he tried his best to shake it off. He tried his best to do everything, and then he understood, hey, this is not going. This is beyond my powers. So there's a higher force involved. It's my karma. It's something else even beyond karma. It must be the doing of the Lord. And he understood. So you have to use your intelligence. You have to definitely, if you're sick, go to the doctor. You should not say, I am sick, and this is written in my horoscope, I'll become sick, so therefore I'm not going to the doctor. That is fatalism. If you get sick, you must act immediately, you must go to the doctor. That is necessary. You must take the medicine. And the medicine will cure you. Sometimes the medicine will take longer time to cure you because that's your karma. Sometimes the medicine instantly cures you, that's your karma. Sometimes the medicine won't cure you, that's your karma. It's not that the medicine also will work immediately. You ask all the COVID patients, they'll tell you that. Right? So even in your taking of your medicine and going to the doctor, karma is involved. But you must do it, you must act. You must not sit down as a fatalist. That is not recommended. You're supposed to act. You're supposed to do what is required, depend on the mercy of the Lord and act. Okay? In the same way, if you're getting disturbed by humans or animals, you should tell that human, please stop it, you're disturbing me. I'm getting disturbed in this way, this way. And I'm not used to this, please stop it. And if it doesn't, then you should take action. Then you should take action, go complain to the police, or if it is your brother, you should complain to the parents, or if it's your neighbor, you should go and tell him and talk to him. You should take action, you should act. And then you'll gradually come to know what is the level and depth of that particular thing happening to you. then accordingly, you'll have to sometimes accept it. And sometimes you can do something about it. But you must definitely try to do something. You should not become a fatalist. Okay? Right. Praveen, being non-materialistic means lazy. What does that mean? I am happy with what I have, but here everyone advising me to get highly paid government job and live luxurious life. Do I aspire for these material things to survive here in this world, or I need to follow Krishna devotion? I'm confused. I'm not sure whether the question is correct or not. The questions keep running on my mind. Well, I think I get you, Praveen, pretty much. I think you're hearing many people saying many different things. Should I cut off all my aspirations, my ambitions, and should I just be a sadhu like you, Maharaj, which I don't feel prepared to do anyway now? You don't have to be like me. You can continue to do what you want to do. Factor in to some percentage spiritual life into your life. If you feel inclined to do something materially, which is your field, your interest, and your expertise, go ahead, do it. That's not something you need to stop. Just that don't give too much of yourself into that and forget the chance of you practicing anything spiritually. Then you will not maintain a balance properly. And that will get you into trouble. Keep a good balance. Factor in a good amount of spiritual life. Say 20% of my life, I want to study Bhagavad-gita, understand this truth. It's very important to me right now. And as you grow older, maybe you'll increase the percentage to 40%. And by the time you retire, you will say 80% of my life, I'm going to do this. And you go more old age, you will say 100% I'll do only this because I find only this relevant right now. So take it up gradually. And sometimes people get very interested, even in the initial 1-2 years. I've seen people, I got interested like that. I took it up casually. Somebody told me this, read and this, and they gave me a book. I read the book, The Science of Self-Realization. Then I was just very casually reading it and it piqued my interest. Wow, what is he saying? And then I kept reading and reading and reading and learning a lot more. Then I said, give me the Gita. I read the Gita, got extremely interested, which answers a lot of the questions that I wanted. And so I went and met people in the temple, and then I took up some study of this along with somebody, and I got extremely interested. So at one point of time, I said, this is it. I've actually got what I want. So it depends on each person. Sometimes people take and make a very good balance of it. They have a spiritual life, dedicated every day, a few hours for it. I read Bhagavad-gita 1 hour a day. I chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra 1 hour a day. Weekends, I take my family to the temple and they all hear and we all get together and we go to pilgrimages to them. And then I do pretty much about 30% of my life. And the rest of the time I'm in my business and I make a lot of money. I look after my family. I balanced it well. Do something like that, right? Don't need to be confused. There is no doubt, but the information given in the Bhagavad Gita is extremely valuable. In fact, the most valuable thing that you'll ever find anywhere. Of this, there is no doubt. But how much of it you want to allow to enter your life and how comfortably you want to lay balance, that is a decision that you have to take. And I've given you some hints how to do it. I hope that helps you, Praveen. So from Anup, Akshaya Shivanantham on YouTube. Hare Krishna Maharaj, if consciousness is symptom of soul, then what is subconsciousness? Is it also a part of consciousness? Maybe you have to define to me what is subconsciousness, because Bhagavad Gita doesn't speak about subconsciousness. I think you're talking about being the medical term. You'll have to explain to me what that is in terms of the understanding of consciousness that you've quoted here. If consciousness is a symptom of the soul, okay, fine, that's a definition. What is subconsciousness? I wouldn't know. I don't think there's something called subconsciousness. There's something called subconscious. That I think I've heard. Maybe Dr. Ramesh here can tell better. He's a doctor and maybe he can have some medical terminology chucked in and help me understand what is a subconscious state psychologically or mental health wise or whatever, if at all. Or if there's anybody else who is a doctor here, can maybe understand and define to me what is subconscious, then I think I'll be able to answer to you. Ramanujam.
Maharaj,
Yeah.
Maharaj,
Yes.
I think subconsciousness means some of the inherent memories which never come out of us and pent up within us, either from the past life or present life, which doesn't come up superficially all the time. And that's what my understanding of subconsciousness is.
Okay. That's what I would have also said. But that means it's a material phenomena. Consciousness is spiritual, which is a symptom of the soul. So that is the main difference. On the material plane of the subtle body, especially of the mind, subconscious are those influences, experiences, especially those that are traumatic and very graphically having affected you with some experience. They actually are very closely moving, influencing your subtle body, your thoughts, your actions and everything. I think that's what subconscious means. That's the material aspect of your mind. But consciousness is a symptom of the soul. Consciousness is purely spiritual. It's on a very, very subtle plane, totally spiritual. Subconscious thing is what is happening to you and influencing the psychology of your life materially. Okay, thank you very much, Ramesh ji.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ramanujam here, Maharaj.
Yes, Ramanujam.
So-
Dear
so-
all, by seeing Maharaja answering in calmness, we learn many things. No need to check fact. He's telling what. Okay, fine.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. You asked me about subconsciousness. I think it is like, some few examples I can give. For example, a housewife knows how to do the cooking. Sometimes she knows, without her really calculating how much of salt to put, So this is also considered, it is like something which fixes in our mind from the past experiences. Like when we are driving the car, for example, we know we will be seeing the back mirror and we'll be seeing the side mirrors, but we don't every time think in our mind, I should see. This is something from our past experiences which fixes in our mind that we are doing right. That's something you can label it like that. There is no strict definition.
Okay, that contributes something to it. But somebody would also say that is intuition. Some other philosophers or somebody will say that could be intuition also, right? But it's okay. I understand what you're saying. I get the point from between your contribution and that of Dr. Ramesh. I understand. I have no problem with that. True. Fine. I don't see any more questions here, if I'm right. So thank you very much. We will end here, and I wish you all happy Krishna Conscious Week till we meet again. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
May you have sweet dreams of Krishna. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Thank you,
Prabhu. Hare
Maharaj.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna
Thank you,
Maharaj.
Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Hare